What's up, guys, and welcome to part 2. No, I'm playing. So Cheyenne, my girlfriend, she's helped me out with a video, and like I said in part 1, I want to do a detailed video of removing the heads off of the 5.3 liter V12. So right off the bat, we're going to take off the cam covers. There's 12 of these, and I'm using a 10 mil socket. Alright, now those 12 are out. There are 13 mil nuts. There's 4 of these with washers, so be mindful of that. Alright, then we're going to do this side as well.
Alright, man, another 12 of the 10 mil. Take these off.
Okay, now, if your engine is still in the car and you're just replacing like the head gaskets or something, you are going to need to remove, before you even move any further, remove the camshaft oil feed lines from the back, and these are 5/8. I'm going to show them that. I mentioned it in part 1, but just make sure you move, or just undo the banjo bolts. You don't have to remove the whole thing, because I think I mentioned in part 1 that it goes from over here all the way up to the oil pressure sending unit, and then obviously branches out to both heads. All you have to do is undo both of these, and then you should be good to pull the head off. And then, let's see, I believe these are 13 mil. And actually, before we undo all of these, all the cam stuff, or the cam covers, let me remove these, and those are 13 mil as well. Actually, I think they're 14.
There's one.
Okay, now these have keepers, like bolt keepers, to stop them from backing out. Do not let these fall in the engine if you're just doing the heads, because it will happen. Stuff rags or something in here, so nothing falls in. These are gonna go in the pile. So now we got 2 more, and same thing. They have keepers, and really quickly, let me get this side all good. Knuckle breaker. I knew that was going to happen. Okay, what's up, guys? So I had to make a quick pit stop to Cheyenne's mom's house. Huge shout out to Laura. When I busted my knuckle on the cam chain, it cut pretty deep and blood was everywhere. But now that I'm all fixed up, we get back to this. So I already went ahead and got the 2 cam sprocket bolts out of here. Again, they're 14 mil and they do have keepers. Maybe don't use a screwdriver to undo those. I mean, use spare pliers or something. But anyways, now we got Now we got to rotate the engine clockwise. Don't rotate it counterclockwise. Otherwise, you will run the risk of breaking your timing chain tensioner. So, okay, let's try that. And if you do use a screwdriver, be careful.
That was good.
Okay, again, don't let any of these fall in. The reason why I'm not worried about it is even if a bolt or keeper goes down in the timing chain front timing cover, I'm taking it off anyways, so not too worried about it. But there we go. Now for this side. And well, that has 2 bolts on it. Let's rotate it to where I get both of them. Excellent. And also, it'd be a smart thing to remove the spark plugs. The only reason why I haven't done that yet is just because there's a lot of crud in the spark plug socket area, and I don't want anything falling in there while I rotate it. So that's the only reason why I haven't done that yet. Okay, excellent. So really quick, I had to find a hammer and a punch to get that loose, and once I did that, it was really easy. Okay, got that. And these two go in this pile here. And then these two will go in this pile over here. Okay, and I want to make something kind of, it's kind of weird. So people are going to notice I haven't undid the timing chain tensioner. And that's just because from the factory, these actually have little, I guess, keepers that you could rest the timing chain sprockets on. And actually I need to get this one first. There we go. So once you get that one, rest it, and now they're good. They could rest there and be fine. Oh, good idea. Yeah. And then this side as well. And now you can see that they're separate from the camshaft. So now we can move forward to unbolting the camshaft, which I believe we're size 13 now. Okay, we'll all do this side. So I'm going to start in the middle and work my way out. These are going in a bag. I'm not just putting these on the ground, but for right now, for the sake of the video, I'll just put them on the ground. Okay, so I'm gonna set these on the ground for right now, but what I'm gonna do is actually I want to show that.
Hold this down.
I'm just trying to get a different light. So I'm gonna set these on the ground. These obviously need to be cleaned and whatnot, but I'm gonna keep these in order. These cams are gonna be sent out and be regrinded. They're gonna be a different cam profile. Okay, and obviously those cam caps or cam bearings, they're going to be obviously staying with this cam. There is a notch here. You got that? The notch? So when you're at top dead center, obviously that will be corresponding with the top dead center mark on the harmonic balancer. But when you're resetting it, it should look like something like this, with the notch facing outwards, upwards, like that. But yeah, the cam, it looks to be in pretty good shape. Really happy about that. Okay, so now the cam's out, we can now start unbolting this head, which is going to be awesome. And that is, I'm going to be using an 18 mil 6-point socket for the acorn nuts up top, and then the ones for the smaller ones as a 9/16. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 9/16 nuts, and then also you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of these 18 mil acorn nuts up top. Actually, I wonder if this would fit better. It would, but it's not too long. So, same thing like the cam. I'm going to start inward and work my way out.
I'm curious to see how stuck these, curious to see how stuck these heads are going to be. If at all. That'd be awesome if they weren't stuck at all, but judging by how hard that was to loosen up those few nuts there, I feel like quite a bit cooler. And then,
one more thing before I forget, because I almost forgot it. There are 13 mil nuts on the front of the block that you need to undo before the head can be removed. So let's get those real fast. Okay. 3 nuts, 3 washers. Almost forgot about those. Okay, now we can move on to the 12 9/16 nuts. So what I've noticed with these, even if they fall off, the chain still doesn't, I mean, it takes quite a bit for the chain to fall off. If you're doing this in a car, if you're just taking off the heads while the engine's in the car, I would suggest taking a zip tie and wrapping it around. That way you know the time it doesn't get off if you're just doing head gaskets. But these top ones, it is easier to take the spark plugs out, especially if the engine's inside the car. It makes it a lot easier to get to the bolts. But again, I'm just leaving them in, so no crud gets inside. Easier to clean later.
This head's gonna be pretty stuck.
Okay, so now all the castle nuts and nuts are off the head. I got the head puller on. One thing about this, make sure you are tightening evenly and in small increments, just because you don't want to pull unevenly, if that makes sense. Another thing commonly overlooked, don't forget about the 3 nuts on the front. You should already have taken off the camshaft oil feed lines, and obviously the camshaft's off, the cam sprocket's already undone, so now you just do in small increments. And this is a slow and tedious process, I'm not gonna lie. Another thing to point out, have some kind of lubricant on the threads of these bolts, just so you're not putting stress on the camshaft studs. I'm not using anything special. I'm just using WD-40. Ideally, you want to use like anti-seize stuff you put on spark plugs, and it'll be good from there. But all I'm doing is going back and forth, not doing anything too crazy. If you have to, if you feel like the head is binding or is getting stuck, go ahead and let it back down, and don't be afraid to start over, just because you don't want to unevenly do this. Trying to think of what else. Once you're past the studs, I think you're at a point where it's for sure going to come off, so that's kind of like the no turning point. So and luckily this head isn't too stuck on, so that's awesome. I think we're coming up on the point where the head's going to allow us just to pull it off. So we'll give that a shot. Alright, let's give it a shot. Let's give it a tug. Almost. Boom. There she is. So there it is. The B-bank is off. And I'm curious in what condition. Get a shot of that. So these are actually kind of heavy. These are actually, when on the other engine, I took the head off to obviously replace the head gaskets, and I weighed the heads, and they weigh 74 pounds apiece, which is pretty wild considering they're made out of aluminum, but it also makes sense. You have obviously the main head, a camshaft, cradle, all the valves, all the seats. But yeah, so that side's off. For the next head, I'm gonna put you guys on a time lapse, and Cheyenne and I are gonna remove that one. So we'll get to work. All right, y'all, it's gonna be end of part 2. So really fast, I want to talk about the head pullers that are currently not on the block anymore. I will leave a link to where I got them. A company called Jaguar Preserve makes them. The camera's not wanting to focus. Okay, well anyways, I don't know why the camera's not wanting to focus. I'll leave a link to where I got those below. They're not bad. I think they're like 150 bucks, 170 bucks, something like that. It makes the job obviously a lot easier, just because most of the time these heads are stuck to the block to begin with. So now that the heads are off, they're going to be going off to the machine shop to get machined. The goal with these are to get a lot more flow out of them, obviously with bigger cams, larger intake manifolds, which I'm really excited to show you guys what I have plans for these. Yeah, now the engine block can go on an engine stand, and then I could work on the underside, sandwich weight, oil plate, connected rods, crankshaft, as I mentioned before. And it's going to be awesome, I think. I'm really excited to get to that point. But anyways, I know this is going to be a long video, so I'm going to end it here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.